Welcome to 360 Conversations Black History Month Takeover. It's October, which means you can probably hear the rain pelting down outside, and here in the UK, it's Black History Month. Black History Month was created by a Black American historian called Carter G. Woodson. He wanted to challenge preconceptions at the time that the Negro has no history. Part of the systematic dehumanization of Black people to legitimize the transatlantic slave trade was to deny them their history, as if Black people popped up out of nowhere to be enslaved. In February 1926, Carter G. Woodson founded Negro History Week. During the civil rights movement of the 1960s, it was decided to make this a month-long event. Black History Month was introduced to the UK by Akiaba Adesebo, a Ghanaian Brit who worked as the coordinator of special projects for the Greater London Council. Black History Month is a way of reflecting on the rich history of Black people, as our contribution to the world is at best whitewashed and at worst erased due to systematic racism. This Black History Month, I've decided to host an audio community project that does more than reflect and acknowledge. As we can see with the current state of the world, history has a tendency to repeat itself when the learning is not applied. For years, I've grappled with Black History Month. It tends to revolve around a single story of lack. It got me thinking about trauma and how people are re-traumatised, desensitized, and conditioned by the repetition of a single story. Big up Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. In Chimamanda's infamous TED Talk on the danger of a single story, she refers to the unintended consequence of monolithic narratives. And I quote, "Now I loved those American and British books I read. They stirred my imagination. They opened up new worlds for me. But the unintended consequence was that I did not know that people like me could exist in literature. So what the discovery of African writers did for me was this. It saved me from having a single story of what books are." End quote. The unintended consequence of the erasure of Black people in history and the whitewashing of stories means that white and Black people have been denied the opportunity to learn about the contribution of Black people, denied the opportunity to understand what has led to the current social, economic, political, and cultural landscape for us all. Black history is world history. Furthermore, the monolithic narrative has relegated the Black experience to struggle alone, even though this is not the case. During a divine connection with my ancestors, they gave me a message. They endured, suffered, and survived because they had to. We are being called to look at their experience for clues to build on their legacy rather than be distracted. And now another quote, the late, great Toni Morrison. "The very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. Somebody says you have no language, so you spend 20 years proving that you do. Somebody says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Somebody says you have no art, so you dredge that up. Somebody says that you have no kingdoms, so you dredge that up. None of that is necessary." Thank you for your work. Thank you for your words, Toni Morrison. Our ancestors are willing us to self-actualize and thrive. As that download came, the idea was born. A digital version of the villages we originated from, using the power of storytelling to connect, educate, and inspire. This Black History Month, I have collaborated with a group of incredible women of African descent to honour a Black woman in history and share what they have learned from this historical figure in terms of their wellness. As always, I referred to the dictionary to be sure that I'm using the correct word to describe what we are doing. To honour. The quality of knowing and doing what is morally right. I believe that it is morally right for us to honour the women that have gone before, to honour the women that have provided sturdy shoulders to lift us higher by exploring how their grit can become our grace. To explore how their grit can become our grace. I am very proud, honoured, all of those lovely, soft and fuzzy words to share with you a month's worth of daily content, weekdays only, with a formidable group of black women honouring the women whose shoulders they stand upon. Enjoy.